You've tuned in to the Top 10 Gardener with garden expert Ken Lain. Join him daily as he answers timely garden questions that are sure to make a difference in your gardens. Now, welcome your host, Ken Lain.
Now, as a garden center owner, I am very happy when June arrives. I mean, garden centers are kind of like a Christmas shop, only instead of December, all your sales come in there. It's May. All the tomato gardens, all the flower gardens, not all, but a lot of these specialty departments just they go in all at once. And once the tomato gardens are full, that department's kind of done. Your crop, you grew a whole crop starting last fall, and now you've brought them in, they've all sold. You're kind of going, it's a busy time though, because there are thousands and thousands. Now it's not so many annuals and hanging baskets. Yes, we still have those, but that crazy rush is over. And now it's more perennials. It's flowering shrubs like the summer crepe myrtles, the summer butterfly bush. They've got this new honeysuckle bush. It's just magnificent. These summer specialty plants. And so the pressure, that huge tidal wave kind of takes a breather. And so now we can start our garden classes again. So we take a break in May because the facility just won't handle students and all the traffic. But starting usually the second week in June, we can start having classes again. We'll have 50 people at a class on a Saturday morning, and it's just interactive. It's fun. It's seasonally correct. And so we start our new series next Saturday, June 8th at 9:30 here at Waters Garden Center in Prescott. It would be worth the drive to come over the hill, maybe Camp Verde or Sedona, over from Ash Fork to Skull Valley. It'd be worth coming in. It's about an hour long, maybe an hour and 15, depending on how energetic people are. And then we try to be very specific or timely on what should be going in now. So we start out with how to grow better grapes and berries. So a lot of folks are going, oh, what's going on with my grapes? They're coming out late. Well, there's a reason for that. I didn't have as many berries last year. There's a reason for that. We're going to go over how to fertilize, how to care, how to prune, how to plant, what the best varieties. If you're into grapes and berries or things that are edible, from blueberries to raspberries to boysenberries to elderberries to gooseberries to you name it, currants. We're going to cover all of that next Saturday. So if you're into edible things, even if you're not, it's fun hanging out with other gardeners. Because gardeners are we all like funky hats and bright colored gloves and funky shoes. And we all are out there in the fresh air, and we appreciate a different kind of bug or different flower or growing thing. We like being outdoors. So we're fun to hang around with. And then there's always experts. We kind of gear up, lots of experts around on a Saturday so we can handle all the students that are there. And I'm going to teach the class next week, June 15. It's flowers, perennial flowers mainly, that love the summer heat. So there's a whole series of plants that would rather bloom and grow when it's above 80 degrees. They want it to be in 80, 90s. Well, that's us in the mountains. So I noticed, came through Camp Verde, when was it? Yeah, on Tuesday. It was 94 degrees over there already. There are some plants that just love that way more than they didn't like the 70s. They were waiting till the soil was warm enough. In the 90s, they want to be warm. They like the sun. They like the sun and the wind. They just like everything about summer. So that's when your crepe myrtles. Mine are just starting to come up. Well, they've been figs. They're just starting to come up. And so now they're actively growing fast. After that, June 22nd, it's fruit trees, how to have a bushel of fruit off your trees too. We'll go over how to get the best varieties. There are some varieties that produce far better. In fact, I'm embarrassed. I was over at one of the box stores. I won't say which orange box it was, but there's a whole bunch of trees going out. I'm just going, oh my gosh, I know what those are. And I know those are never going to produce here. I know those are probably going to die in the next little bit, but they're being sold because a buyer down in Phoenix or Arkansas said, send 50 of those to all my stores. And they were cheap, and you bought them, and you won't know until 3 years later that it failed. Anyway, garden classes, check out watersgardencenter.com and Facebook under our events tab. They're all listed there for your amusement. Come join us. Waters Garden Companion companion plants for June are sunburst locust, moonshine yarrow, silverberry, and Hall's honeysuckle.
Ideal at growing up fences, walls, or as a ground cover.
Wind, drought, deer, javelina are no problem.
Hall's honeysuckle is an outstanding mountain vine with fragrant yellow flowers that loves blooming in the summer heat.
An excellent solution for a fast-growing screen, even in the poorest of soil.
You'll only find the hardiest vines at Waters Garden Center, 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott. If you want a more fruitful garden, increased success in landscape that just feels better, then tune in daily to the Top 10 Garden Podcast. Years of tips, tricks, and garden shortcuts are guaranteed to make your gardens nicer than ever. Listen to this podcast or read Ken's weekly garden column by visiting watersgardencenter.com. That's Waters with 2 T's, gardencenter.com. Thanks for tuning in.